Look at this. Uh-oh. People popping off now. They're going crazy.
I love that at the end. Get in there. Get in there, police. Please do your job. All right, so much for free speech. On college campuses, protesters tore down this conservative group's tent before an event at UC Davis. The group says that
it's crazy how these people think that they have a monopoly on violence and it's not going to be used against them. Eventually, conservatives are going to start being violent towards liberals, and we're going to have a huge problem on our hands because the police are not willing to uphold the law and hold these people accountable. It's not going to be a civil war. It's just going to be a lot of like small scuffles and issues and problems. And I think this is a huge issue. And conservatives love their guns. Yeah, exactly. I'm not, but this is going to be bad. It is. And I feel like this is a huge fucking problem.
demonstrators also ripped down the banners, smashed their phone boards, and tried to steal a laptop and an iPad from the group.
Yep.
Brandon Tatum was a guest speaker at this event. He is
because like if you're going and stealing and destroying people's property and they're just taking their stuff and then walking away with it. You can't just take somebody's stuff and walk away with it. What the fuck are we talking about? This is crazy behavior, and the fact that these people aren't being immediately arrested is insane to me. It's absolutely insane. And I know what's going to happen is that eventually somebody is going to grab one of these people and somebody's going to get shot or killed. And then it's going to happen a lot more. Because if you allow one group to break the law, don't be surprised when the other group starts breaking the law too. And that's what's going to happen. Someone's going to go too far? Yeah. And also, when it does happen, nobody that's a conservative is going to care. They're going to say, finally, thank God. And that's what makes it even worse, is that you've created the conditions for people to be accepting of political violence and political, destruction of property, and to not realize that it's so destructive.
Turning Point USA contributor. He's a former Tucson police officer who became very popular on social media because of his conservative law and order views, and he has millions of people who follow him. Brandon Tatum, good to have you with us today, sir. Thank you very much for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me on.
So the university basically said, look, nobody was hurt. This isn't a big deal. And we do everything we can to protect free speech on campus.
It's not, you're not like, no one requested medical aid, so it's okay to steal something because nobody gets hurt? What's the logic with this at all?
Campus. Is that true?
That's the biggest lie and sack of crap that I've ever heard in my life. They could not
University protected the free speech rights of campus community. Since when is free speech tearing down somebody's event? How is free speech taking somebody's stuff and running away with it? Like, in my opinion, I think these are the universities that the federal government should just completely defund. Like, if you're not upholding the law on your campus and you're allowing people to be, bullied and pushed around, I don't think, honestly, why should the federal government be giving you money if you're not following the federal law? Really? How is this even a question? Theft of property is not free speech? Yeah, exactly. It's such an outrageous statement to make. It's incredible that people even do this.
And they were not given any real effort to thwart these people who came from God knows where. We don't even know if these were students. They were completely masked. They came and assaulted people. They tore up everything. They stole property. And then they not only did it once, they came back twice. So all the police officers had every identifying marker that these people were going to be violent, and they still didn't do anything. And thank God
Yeah, that's bullshit. It's total bullshit this happens. Yeah, fight back, fuck that. Eventually somebody will do that. And when it happens, as I said, these people will have no sympathy from anybody.
There and others who stood up to him, or we would have all been getting beat up and injured when they are supposed to protect us, and we are allowed or should be allowed to have the freedom of speech on campus.
Yeah, of course. What did you say in the back?
If you have people that are attacking you, stealing your shit and running away with it, whenever you say something that they disagree with, this is not, you don't have freedom of speech. You don't have it. The issue is when they fight back, they are the ones who's going to get arrested. Well, this is the problem, right? It's because the police don't arrest these people proactively. And the police have allowed antisocial, violent behavior from these counter-protesters and protesters without holding them accountable. And I think it goes back to what I was saying before about like that kid with the knife and like stabbing somebody, is that this is antisocial violent behavior that needs to be rooted out of society at the very beginning. There's never a point where something like this is acceptable. There's never a point where we should condone this. There's never a point where anybody should be okay with it. And the problem is that people try to justify this behavior. And in the process of that, they don't realize that they're going to be justifying this behavior against themselves, because that's what's going to happen. It's not right. No, it's not.
And forth. And could you tell, were these students, or was this group sent in from somewhere? I know you said that you've spoken a lot of campuses. You've never been part of anything like this before.
Yeah, most campuses, people
they have an ACAB poster. Well, I find this to be highly ironic that, really they're saying all cops are the bad cops or all cops are bastards, but the cops are the reason why you're able to do this. If the cops were actually doing their job and not being bastards, you'd be in jail.
Peaceful. It clearly was a coordinated group. They were all dressed the same. They had bicycles. They had things to conceal their identity. They came from out of sight. They weren't even on the campus mall where we were at. They came from somewhere else. They came and
if there are no cops at all, they'd be losing. Exactly. Yeah. It's like, I mean, this guy is like fucking like way bigger than these other people. Like if he started hitting them and fighting them, I wonder who really would come out on top, right? And so, it's not only that. Yeah, it's like if this was allowed to go to its like obvious like biological conclusion, we all know where it would go.
And then they retreated, never to be seen again. And all of the rest of the students, although some of them were delusional, they still were reasonable and they did not attack people. So this was a coordinated effort. And the thing that bothers me the most, Martha, is that why did the police officers not do anything? I know. It's almost as if I'm the only cop there.
Yeah, look, he just tearing shit up. Like, I mean, again, you're tearing shit up. You're going crazy. Like, what are you doing?
Do anything.
I know.
It's almost as if I'm the only cop there. They didn't do anything to stop this. They saw them punch people and they did nothing.
It must be so frustrating for you as a former Tucson police officer when you see these other police officers. And as I said in the intro, when I hear that, this guy who's just standing by, he's like, get in there. Aren't you guys going to do a little something to stop these people from destructing this property? We have a list of all these Ivy League schools, government funding being cut. There's word that Brown University.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think that they should, if schools allow this to happen, I think Trump should just completely cold turkey cut all of their aid. This is crazy. It's actually crazy that you're allowing people to openly break the law, be violent, and not only are you allowing them to do that, but you're allowing them to do that in the worst way possible, which is you're allowing them to be violent for the goal of political intimidation. That's like the worst way you can do it. $1 billion for a school? Why? I don't know. What would happen if they did? Well, the school would immediately change their policy. That's what they would do. The school would immediately change their policy and arrest these people instantaneously. And it would immediately stop. Do you think they're going to throw away $1 billion a year? Of course not.
He's going to lose $500 million in grants and research money. So, UC Davis, do you think they were concerned about this? They put out that statement saying, free speech is super important to us. Like, don't come here.
Yeah.
I don't think they're very concerned about it because they didn't really do nothing about it. We were talking to the administrative people.
Schools arrest people? The campus police does. Yeah, so there are police officers that are on campuses. And if this is like it was in my high school and also in other universities, is that they have campus police.
Can you protect us? Are you going to just let these people bludgeon us? And then the police officers, or somebody's telling them to stand down. I mean, they're there, they're ready to go, but they're not going to engage. I asked them specifically, if they come back, are you guys going to use force against them to prevent them from hurting people at this table? I mean, I literally had to tell the police officers, if they come back to the table, I'm going to defend the people who are here. We're not just going to let them beat us up. And they didn't give me a clear answer. They stood there in preparation to do nothing.
Yep.
I guess their visible stature would be a deterrent, which is not really realistic. They have to be able to use force. And there's somebody that's telling them, I don't know if it's the chief, I don't know if it's the university. They're saying, allow people who you cannot identify to come onto campus with weapons and attack.
Listen to this. Really? Again.
Somebody that's telling them, I don't know if it's the chief, I don't know if it's the university. They're saying, allow people who you cannot identify to come onto campus with weapons and attack people and do nothing about it. They didn't even pursue to arrest anybody. They just watched them do it and they let them go.
Yeah.
It was so frustrating.
Yeah, I can see that.
I literally wanted to defend every single person there, but I didn't want to be seen knocking people out on campus.
You can't
That's not what I wanted.
I'm sorry. You can't be educated if you aren't exposed to a lot of different viewpoints.
Yep.
And that is what universities are supposed to protect, free speech on their campuses. And so these people should have, at the very least, been reprimanded. We're glad that nobody was hurt in this situation, but clearly it was destructive of property. And Brandon, thank you very much. Brandon Tatum, good to have you with us today, sir.
It's crazy they're letting this shit
Thanks for
happen.
having me.
I'm Steve Ducey.
Well,
I'm Brian.
really surprised. I mean, what I'm surprised by is the fact that people just let it keep happening. They just let it keep happening, and I feel like they don't know where this is going to go, because like you're going to have, bro, you're going to have this is going to turn around, and it's going to be really bad. I'm going to tell you that. There's a video right there. Like it is going to be very, very, very bad.